I think that something so many people do not understand is that when you are looking at someone who is famous or a content creator, singer, whatever the case is, there is that person that we see who I typically call like the brand, and then there's that person as a person. So like there's Taylor Swift, the brand, and then there's Taylor Swift. Or there's JC Marie Smith, the brand, and then there's JC Marie, the person. And I think that a lot of people, when they hear that, they assume that that means that the brand is inauthentic. But that's not the case at all. You're just polishing who that is and kind of gatekeeping what you are and what aren't going to tell the world. So you have to be a lot more objective and a lot less emotional with the brand versus the person. And that doesn't mean that just because you do or don't share something, you're less authentic. Like an example I'm going to use is I have a podcast, hello, that we're on the TikTok, and I'm always open to criticism. And sometimes I'll get comments that say, you should share more of your personal takes on this, like your stories or your experience or whatever. And then in the next video, it'll be, oh, you should share less of your personal experience and just stick to the stories. And for me as a person, I'm like, ouch, that hurt. But for me as a brand, I have to put on, my big girl pants and say, okay, what would make the most sense for my brand? What do I want my voice to be? Do I want to share personal stories? Is that going to have a bigger reach? Is that going to make the brand more successful? Or do I need to wind it in? And you can't bring your emotions into it. But at some point, like, I'm always open to criticism. You just have to say, though, I am maybe not your cup of tea. There was this TikTok video a couple years ago where this girl made bean soup. You might have heard of it. And it was like, here's my recipe for bean soup. And then all these people were like, that's great. And then there were comments that were like, that's awesome, but I don't like beans. Can I substitute that for something else? Or I don't like this. I don't like that. Bestie, maybe that video just isn't for you. Maybe you just don't like bean soup. Maybe I'm just your bean soup. Maybe Taylor Swift is just your bean soup. Maybe Sabrina Carpenter is just your bean soup. Like, you either like it or you don't. Like, you can't tweak it to be what you want it to be if it's just not. And that's totally fine. I think as like an entrepreneur in any case, you put everything that you are into what you're creating, and it's easy to say this is a personal attack because they don't like it, but they don't like your brand, which is you, but it's not you. And you need to be ruthless in making decisions for your brand so that it's successful. Does that make sense? I feel like this lesson is so important, and until you get your brand sorted or you have a general direction, it's going to be a lot harder to be successful. I could write like a whole series on this, but when you realize this, it's like light bulb, like insane.